Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So do you think that we're living in the end of times? Are you one of these people that complains a lot about how the world seems like it's all fucked up? There's a lot of people out there doing that shit, especially online. And people just feel so freaked out. And they're like, well, just look around you. Their anxiety levels are so high because of all kinds of external factors that they can't control. And they check the headlines or watch the news or however they get their information. A lot of different sources, but it's all controlled by the same few corporations, and it spews the same kind of campaign messages depending if you're on the left or on the right. And you get bombarded with these images and these stories of, just all these different areas that feel like that they're going awry. Well, I'm gonna tell you, that type of mentality of feeling like that the world is at its end, that we're just a shot away from the Civil War, that revolution is on the horizon, that things are worse now than they've ever been. This fear, this anxiety about that is just coming from within you. That's you. You are at your end. You are weak. There's never been a time in history when we have had a perfect society. These Norman Rockwell paintings that you've seen are just paintings. They never existed. It was never like that. There was never a time when America was perfect, or any country for that matter, or any civilization or empire. It's all relative to your outlook. So sure, things are fucked up. I'm not here to try to tell you that things are not fucked up. They are fucked up. But they're also not fucked up. It just depends. Depends on how you look at things and where you are physically and mentally within society. If you're living in a fucked up part of town and you see the cops rolling around all the time, everybody's, pissed off all the time, it's always going to feel like an apocalypse. I mean, it really is. It just depends on how you look at things. I've lived all over this country, and I've lived in a lot of fucked up neighborhoods. And I had to learn that I needed to do whatever I could, make it my life's goal to change my location, to find an area that I could afford, to figure out a way to get a job that I could pay a decent rent or buy a house. It was on me. This is what capitalism is about. It's on you. And maybe you just can't handle it. Maybe you have poor survival skills. Maybe you're just mentally weak. You have no discipline. But that doesn't mean the whole world is against you. That doesn't mean the whole world is coming down. It's just your outlook. It's important to keep all this kind of stuff in perspective because the ebb and flow of the economy, politics, whether we're heading into World War III or we're in a time of peace, all of that is relative. It goes up and it goes down. What you should be focused on is your own life, is your own mentality. So even in a time of racial strife, even in a time of economic instability, even in a time when we just don't know what's going to happen, you should be able to thrive. You shouldn't be allowing headlines or the news to ruin your day, to ruin your trip, to have you walking around in a state of constant anxiety, as if you're the king of the world and you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. You're not. You only need to be able to have the weight of your family and your little micro world on your shoulders. Pay your bills. Stay on top of your health. Make sure that you're living a mind, body, and soul lifestyle. Make sure that you're building your character so that you can be an example for others around you. Teach others around you. Lift others around you up. If you spend all your time lifting other people up and working on yourself to make yourself stronger, this is what you spend all your time doing. It doesn't matter what's on the news. It There's always going to be bad stories in the news. That's how they get ratings. You don't think that there's any good shit going on in this world right now because you're not paying attention to that. Our outlook is everything. When I meet people that are overly anxious, and I meet a lot of them these days, about politics, about society, it just makes me giggle. And what I see is weakness. What I see is somebody who's not taking care of business. They're not doing what's necessary in order to make themselves stronger. They're just like a butterfly in the wind. And they're caught in this draft. You need to be able to be stronger than that and to be grounded. Grounded in your own reality, grounded in the reality that you create. Life is what you make it. It doesn't make you. You're not on a roller coaster ride. That's weakness. People who think that life is like a roller coaster is weakness. People think they're being taken for a ride are just passengers and they're weak. What your goal is it should be, is to build mental strength, to create a positive mental attitude so you can have a forward-thinking outlook. You can look at the world as a place that you can survive in and you can thrive in regardless of what's going on. It doesn't matter how many spears and shields are raised. It doesn't matter how many arrows are flying through the sky. You can handle anything with mental strength, with a positive outlook, with a mind, body, and soul lifestyle. If you don't like your neighborhood, you can move. If you don't like your job, you can quit and find a new one. There's plenty of jobs out right now. You have no excuse. We have a big country, and all people really want to do is have excuses of why they can't do this or do that, why they can't better their lifestyle. People slip into these ruts that they just don't know how to get out of. The rat race. It doesn't mean you have to go and live off the grid. To break beyond the rat race, what it means is that you have to become a different type of creature. You're not a rat. You're not living in someone else's maze. You're creating your own life. You're making your own path. You're following the beat of your own drummer, not somebody else's. You need to be taking steps towards these kinds of empowering lifestyle choices every single day. They add up. Even if it's only one a day or one a week, whatever your pace is, that's forward moving. That's taking control of your life. That's taking control of your mindset. So if you're one of these people that's just lost in politics, lost in this world of life is crazy right now, everything is fucked up, you have to admit it's just so messed up right now, everything is so crazy right now. People say this shit all day long, and every single time I hear it, it's just a weak motherfucker whining, complaining, bitching. Little sissies who are afraid to take control of their lives. Just rats caught in a maze. You can take control of your life, but it takes steps. You have to do the steps. You have to put in the work. You can start right now. You can start tomorrow. But nothing will ever change if you don't take those steps. It doesn't matter who's president. Forget about that. So your candidate didn't win, or maybe he did and is not doing enough. Maybe the other side isn't acting like you want them to act. Maybe the other side of the aisle is too radical for you. None of it matters. If you think that affects your mindset and your outlook, you're weak. I like to point out weakness wherever I see it because it's an opportunity to become stronger. I'm all about trying to become stronger. There's a lot of stuff that we cannot control in this world. Most of the shit that goes on around us in this world we cannot control. If you try to, you'll always lose that game. You'll always feel inferior. You'll always feel like a rat in a maze. You'll always feel like it's out of control regardless of what's going on. The trick is to be able to take control of your life, to take control of your little kingdom, to be on top of your game, on top of your mind, body, and soul lifestyle every single day, regardless of what's going on. This is how you create a good life. And instead of being one of these weak little pussy motherfuckers who's sitting there whining like a little bitch about how the world is so fucked up, you can acknowledge reality. The world's always been fucked up. The world always will be. But that doesn't mean I have to be fucked up. That doesn't mean I have to live in a fucked up world. There's all kinds of good shit going on. It's all about what you pay attention to. There's all kinds of good people out there. It's all about who you're paying attention to. If you can't see the duality of life, that good goes along with evil, if you think that there's ever going to be a time where there's only good, you're living in a fantasy like a child. You're a baby, a little brat, weakling. You have to realize that there is bad in this world, and that if you don't see it directly in front of you, you need to become it. Be the good. Do good every day and combat the evil. That's how you live a good life. You have to be able to know which battles to fight in this world. And the battle for your mind, the battle for your mindset, for your positivity, that's a battle you can win. It's just food for thought. Thanks for watching.